Yo, testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. It's your boy Swift. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Swift Been King. I figured we do something different where I plan on, with the Swift Been King videos is mostly geared towards calisthenics, workouts, and just motivation. But also too, a part of that channel is those type of videos, but also to my podcast, which is Swiftvibez. So I'm going to try to give y'all, some episodes or, so we can just talk and y'all get to know me better and I get to know y'all better. I definitely plan on having guests. Yeah, so this is the first episode. And I'm not here to give y'all like that bubblegum motivation and this, that, and the third. I'm really here to keep it real with y'all, and I'm never ever gonna tell y'all stuff that I haven't been through or I'm not currently going through. I'm not gonna fabricate my story. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, and I'm not gonna act like I'm someone that I'm not. I am flawed. I'm letting y'all know this now. I have problems. I'm still dealing with my problems. I do not have it all together, and I don't claim to have it all together. And I personally will not have it all together. It doesn't matter how much money I make, how many women I got, how clear my skin is, how good looking I am, how big I am, how small I am. I will not have it together. And what keeps me balanced is God, not me, not this world. I don't depend on anything or anyone. And that's not me saying that I don't need anything or anyone. But at the end of the day, all I need and all I search for is God. He's the one that grounds me. So, with that intro, we can just slide into what this episode would be called, or the topic. Actually, it's really just a question to y'all, something for y'all to think about. And like I said, this podcast is something where I want y'all to ponder on it. I want y'all to sit on it, even if you got to go back to it, and even if you got to dig deep inside of you and think. But the question I want to ask y'all is what fuels you? What motivates you? What fuels you and what motivates you? Is it money? Is it success? For my fellas, is it women? For my ladies, is it men? For my fellas, is it men? For my ladies, is it ladies? Is it the likes, the views, the validation? Is that your validation? Is it how many cars you drive? What fuels you? You see, for me, when I was younger, and I had just had to learn this like about a year and a half ago, I had to figure out what motivated me, what fueled me. And for me to figure that out, God had to put me through the wilderness. He had to get me alone by myself. And I'm just going to be vulnerable and honest with you. Women fueled me. Attention fueled me. I thought I was bigger than God or just next to God. And most of my homies, they probably didn't see that, but I saw it. I felt that. And the thing is with God, what I've been learning is he'll humble you real quick. Actually, no, it may not even be that quick. He'll humble you at the time he wants to humble you. But I had to figure out what fueled me. The women fueled me. The likes fueled me. And it's not like I'm a social media influencer or trying to be that. It was just more so the validation that I'm looked at. And that fueled me. And with that motivation and that fuel, that type of motivation and fuel, one, it became an idol. And again, I'm a Christian. I consider myself a progressive Christian, but I am a Christian. But God does not. It says in His Word, "Don't make any idols before me." So I saw myself as an idol. Not, and on top of that, too, I saw women. I saw sex as an idol. I saw the attention as an idol, and therefore that got me distant from God. And I've always been a Christian, but that was one of the things that put distance between God and I. His voice was very, very, very quiet. And I'm just giving y'all a backstory of what fueled me. Not only that, I thought I was entitled. I was very selfish. I only wanted to hear what I wanted to hear and see what I wanted to see. And I didn't care how it affected anyone. And he put me in a position where he had to humble me. And it was just a thing that happened like, oh, and the next day I'm humble. No. He had to get me by myself. He had to show me, number one, what should be my fuel and what should be my motivation. Now, with God, there's free will. He didn't make me do anything. Yes, he allowed a situation to happen, but I could have still went to the things that that validated me and felt like it made me into what I felt I should be. But I didn't, because those things, sex, after a while, I couldn't feel anything. And I'm like, what's the purpose of this anymore? It's not filling that void that I've been searching for. Likes didn't, social media didn't fill that void anymore. It's like a drug addict when they go from one drug to another when they don't get the same high anymore, so they search for more. And granted, I tried to search for more, it still didn't hit right. And then one time I finally gave God a chance, who's been calling me all my life, and I was about to say I answered, but he's been answering. And he had to show me what should fuel me, and I chose to trust him. And with those, how I got there, I had to figure out what my purpose was as a man of God. And every man, every woman, most people say every man should figure out their purpose. I'm talking to everyone because we're all kings and queens, and we all have a purpose. But we all need to figure out what is our purpose in this life. And for us to figure out that purpose, we need to figure out what fuels us. What motivates us? I suggest for you to figure that out. Again, I'm not God. This podcast, you don't have to follow everything or agree with everything that I say. I'm only coming from my experience. And I hope my experience fuels you and motivates you to find your purpose or find your motivation. But I suggest if you want to find out your motivation, take away yourself. For me, for Swift, for Swift, I had to make it less about me, more about God. And a lot of humility had to come with that. A lot of discipline had to come with that. A lot of understanding had to come with that. And along with those things, a lot of tears came with that. A lot of confusion came with that. A lot of anger, embarrassment came with that. It wasn't a pretty journey. Healing is never pretty. It's like when you break a bone. The healing stage, that rest stage, it's not comfortable. Sometimes it hurts more than even breaking the bone. But you got to get through it. Not so your bone can be the same way it was. No, so you can be stronger. In these episodes, I'm going to talk about my journey a lot and talk about myself a lot, and I don't mean that to be vain, but like I said, I want to be a motivation for y'all. That's a little side note, but getting back to what I was saying, that humility stage, I lacked, humility. What's the saying? It's not about thinking about it's about thinking, I can't even speak. It's not about thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less. You know, I felt like this should happen. I felt like I should be seen this way or heard this way. I don't want to hear no other opinions. In my previous relationship, bruh, your boy was toxic. Your boy was trash. Your boy was a nigga. You know what I'm saying? He was a nigga. Actually, I don't want to say that, but I was a F boy. Put it that way. I feel like there's a difference between a F nigga and a F boy. I was an F boy. I was toxic, very toxic. And I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because that's what I truly was, and I'm able to accept it. And key word was. And I'm able to accept those things. But for me not to be that man that I was, and you couldn't pay me to go back, God, it was just God. The man you hear talking right now, the man that you see now, that ain't me. That's God. And God had to show my purpose. He had to show me these things that are fueling you and motivating you are not of me. It will never be of me. They're not a solid foundation. I feel like in this world we look for the quick things that look like foundations, but don't hold us sturdy. It's not even sturdy. It's flimsy. Because if one side of the foundation goes down, you run to the other side. And the other side of the foundation it still goes down. You keep running from side to side based off what society says, social media says, what the world says. And granted, I'm not trying to sit here and say everything in this world is bad. I'm not going to do that. But when we don't have a foundation of our own, finding our own purpose, finding our own motivation, not having a target for ourselves or goals for ourselves, we go to the thing that looks like it can help us. We go to those people that we think are good for us. I'm never ever going to tell you what religion or what spirituality you should believe in. I'm not here to do that. But whatever grounds you to find your purpose, look, and you're not harming no one or harming yourself, and it feels like it grounds you to become a better person, not just for yourself, but for your family and for the society, for this world, then I'm going to, listen, I'll clap for you. I support you. But I had to find my purpose. Actually, no, God had to show me my purpose. And as a man, I feel like one of the most dangerous things you can be, or in positions you can be, is walking on this earth and not having a purpose. What are you put on this earth to be, to do? It's not your job. It's not your car. It's not your women, because those things can be here today and gone tomorrow. And then what are you now? It's not the likes. Yeah, you got that blue check. But what if that blue check go away? What are you now? My purpose that was shown to me was, one, I need to be a light. A light. Not the light, a vessel. A representation of what number one a godly man is and a high value man is. And disclaimer, again, I'm not perfect. I'm still learning these things as we go. Number two, my other purpose is to break generational curses. In my family, high blood pressure is rampant. Kidney failure is rampant. Diabetes. Also, too, the broken marriages got to stop. The broken relationships, not just the broken marriages and the broken relationships between children and parent, and children, brothers and sisters. I'm also going to break the curse financially to make sure my family and my children's children will be generationally wealthy. That's one of my purposes. Excuse me, I cannot talk. And I had to figure that out. Excuse me, again, God had to show that to me. And that required a lot of faith, a lot of understanding, a lot of digging deep. So those things can be enlightened for me. Now, God isn't going to do all the work. He'll do the heavy lifting, right? But we also got to put in the work. Faith without works is dead. We can believe these things and say these things, but what are we doing to work towards that? And you mean asking me, yo, Swift, what you doing to work towards that? And I know, and I'll answer that soon, but I know I can be doing a lot more. But best believe I'm still working. And I know when I feel like I'm doing things on my own too much, I look for God to realign me. But how I'm doing that is, number one, working out, making sure I'm doing the best to put the right things in my body, drinking water, because I lacked and slacked with drinking water. But making sure I'm eating the right things. And if I feel like I am not, then now I have that conscience, that discernment, that wisdom. Be like, all right, Josh, you got to fall back from fast food for a little bit. You don't need to put that much salt on certain things. Do you really need that? No. I hear that little voice in my head. And I'll be honest, I'll be ignoring it sometimes. I went on vacation this past weekend, and your boy threw down, right? I threw down. But also, too, I worked out while I was on vacation. And the mindset that I used to have was, oh, I can eat whatever I want to because I work out so much. And at that time, I did not look like what I look like now. I was very unhealthy. Eating unhealthy things, was in an unhealthy mindset, was in an unhealthy relationship. Didn't have the healthy relationships with my sisters as much as I do now. I reacted in an unhealthy way. I looked for the things that gave me quick pleasure. But I am using more wisdom and discernment. I'm more disciplined. If I eat bad and listen, if I eat terribly one day, especially over the weekend, I still work out. And if I'm struggling, I see it as that's my fault. Not necessarily as a punishment, but you reap what you sow. Your boy had like 10 pieces from Crown Chicken Sunday with the Philly, and got my Crown Chicken, got my 10 piece. Ate them Jones late on the late night tip too. Finished them Jones on the late night tip. Actually, I got 15 pieces. Let me stop capping. Your boy got 15 pieces. Ate some, chilled. Then a late night tip, and I'm talking late, like 10 p.m. Bang them Jones out. Wake up at 6:45 to work out, and I'm still struggling. That's my fault. Taking accountability. I didn't know what accountability was. God showed me what taking accountability was. It's not just only just saying sorry or I hear you, my famous words. I hear you. No, it's understanding that I could have done something better, even if I feel like I'm right, even if I feel like I was justified. Or even if I actually am wrong, not trying to spin it to where the negative spotlight is on me. Even at my job, if I do something wrong, I'm not going to make no excuse. I tell my manager, that's my fault. I tell my co-workers, that's my fault. We could be here all day, but those are some of the things that God had to show me that moved me into my purpose. It's a lot that goes into it. A lot of discipline. Another thing that I practiced was fasting. The power of fasting. And in today's age, there's different types of fasting. You can fast for health reasons or if you want to lose weight. But also there's such thing as spiritual fasting. I suggest everyone at least try to fast. It doesn't have to be spiritual. Like it could be anything if you just want to discipline yourself. But I believe in fasting and I do a lot of fasting. And in the Bible, fasting was a reoccurring thing to get closer to God, to kill one's flesh and to strengthen one's spirit. And I can say when I fasted, I was more spiritually aware of things. I could hear God clearer. I can see something or about to do something. I can hear God saying, that's not you. I delivered you from that. Why would you go back to that? It's crazy, and I may sound crazy, but I don't really care. This is what has made me into the man that I am today and will continue to make me to the man I am today. And I fasted from food. There's times where I've eaten 1 meal a day for a month. Fasted from sex. Practice semen retention. I believe in semen retention. I even had to fast from the gym because I was slowly making the gym an idol. Fasted from video games. Just to get closer to God, just to discipline myself, just to focus on my purpose. and spent time with God. Took all those times that I found took all those things that I found pleasure in, and replaced those things with God. Now, granted, I should be doing that every day, not fasting, but I should be making time for God, to spend time with Him, to meditate on Him or meditate on His Word. And as a man and as a Christian man and as a king, I can admit when I'm wrong. And that's something that I need to do. Like even yesterday, I heard God tell me, I want you to spend time with me. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. After I work out, I'm going to come back clean and spend time with Him. Your boy went to read this right after he worked out. Drawing, tripping. And I realized after I got read this, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, Lord, forgive me. I know I'm going on a little tangent right now, but I'm just letting you know that I have flaws. I make mistakes. I'm a king, but I make mistakes. But I know my purpose. And I know who validates me. I know who motivates me. I know who fuels me. Do you? Whoever's listening, I'm going to give y'all some homework. I want y'all to reflect on your life. Even reflect recently what's going on in your life. And ask yourself, what fuels you? What motivates you? And figure out if it's helping you get closer to your better self, or even closer to God if you're a believer. Or see if it's taking away from you, taking you away from God. It could be anything. It could be that job that you are at with that toxic boss or toxic coworkers. It could be the relationship or the friendship that you have with someone. It could be anything. Look at yourself, but also try to remove yourself. Meaning, if it's just finding you that quick pleasure and it's not long lasting, it's not building a foundation for you, then take away the simple fact of the matter that, it's just finding me pleasure. Now, if it's finding you a sustainable happiness that not just only makes you feel good for the day, but motivates you to be a better person for yourself, for your family, for this world, then of course, I salute you, king. I salute you, queen. Keep doing the same thing, but even better. And again, for my believers, keep seeking God. Allow God to be your motivation and your fuel. Same thing for my non-believers. Seek God. The door is always open with Him. Just because you're a non-believer don't mean you don't get that type of membership. Don't mean you don't get that type of exclusive time. You know what I'm saying? Try to seek Him if you truly want to. And some people, I had a conversation with my boy Josh. Shout out to Josh. He was like, "Yo, bro, like I want to be spiritual in that aspect, or I want to be more knowledgeable in the spirituality. I believe there's a God up there. I believe there's something. I'm just more so of a see it to believe it type guy, but also too, I feel like I gotta have knowledge to believe." Which he's not wrong in the sense of being more knowledgeable, but the God we serve is a loving God. You don't gotta know all His backstory. All He wants is your time. All He wants is you to spend some time with Him and talk to Him. That's it. He's not requiring you to lay everything down, know the Bible, all the other books in the Bible, know all the verses. No, He's not looking for you to be perfect. He's looking for you to spend some time with Him. So I just told him straight up that. And also too, and he asked yo, so how do you start praying? I was like, bro, all you gotta do when you get up, just say, thank you, God. Start with that. Then start giving Him the things that you struggle with, or the things that you enjoy, or things that make you feel like make you, or whatever, anything. Just talk to Him about anything. And that's what I do. And again, another disclaimer. I'm not perfect. Swift is not perfect. I ain't perfect at all. But like I was saying, seek God. Seek God. But also, too, figure out what fuels you. Figure out what motivates you. Figure out your purpose. When you leave this earth, because that's what's going to happen. All kings and queens, we have a set date. But what are you going to leave behind? What's the lasting thing that you're going to leave behind? Everyone could be like, well, I'm going to leave all this money and this, that, and the third. That's cool. Money's here, gone tomorrow. But what is going to be left behind? What are they going to say about your reign? What are they gonna say about you? You know what I'm saying? What are they gonna say? So again, figure out what fuels you. Figure out what motivates you. Figure out your purpose. And I guarantee you, your awareness into this world, and around this, in this world, your spiritual awareness, even your physical awareness, you're gonna start moving differently. But also too, it takes a lot of discipline, a lot of courage, a lot of humility, a lot of multiple things. It's not an easy thing, but at least gotta make the effort. At least you gotta have faith. You'll figure it out. I know you will, and I'm speaking that into y'all. You'll figure it out. I'm not gonna keep this a long-winded conversation. I'm just letting y'all know. Your boy Swift, he loves y'all. He wants y'all to stay blessed. He wants y'all to be the best version of yourselves, man. I'll never give y'all any toxic information or toxic tips or suggestions. I'm not gonna tell y'all to make this world much of a worse place than the way it's going right now. There's too much stuff going on in this world, and that's not me being a light. I'll be a source of darkness, and that's something that I'm not. But y'all gotta stay blessed. Y'all gotta stay safe out here. And just know that, again, y'all loved. Y'all are kings. Y'all are queens. It don't matter how much you make. It don't matter if you work at Walmart or you a CEO. It don't matter what type of car you drive. It don't matter if you walk to work. It don't matter, none of that. You are a king. You are a queen. If you listening to this, you are a king. You're a queen. And just know that. All right. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Follow me at Swift_Ben King on YouTube. SWIFT_BEN_KING. And also too, tune into me on Spotify at Swiftvibez. And we just gonna get this John rocking on some real talk. It's the first episode, so don't judge me. We just starting up this channel. So yeah. Like I said, stay blessed. Swift love y'all. Kings and queens. I am out.